Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got some more mock drafts for you guys for your upcoming redraft season. So again, this is to help you guys kind of see what is happening in the fantasy football industry. Obviously, with training camps starting to open up, that's going to shift and adjust ADPs, but this is going to give you an idea of where some players are falling. I'm going to give you some strategies you could possibly go with, and I'm going to do it by the 101 through the 112. This is, again, 12-man PPR league. Not super flex. If it is super flex, you probably play this differently. You're going to go a little bit more quarterback heavy. But in a traditional PPR, half PPR, non-premium tight end, super flex, this is a good strategy to try to help you guys win. So now we are on the 102. If you guys haven't checked out, make sure you check out our 101 video. And again, make sure you are subscribed and notified so that way you guys notified every video we're going to drop, all these mock drafts, sleepers, all that fun stuff. So we're going to jump right into this. So as you can see here, I'm at the 102 spot. Again, my strategies might be a little different than yours, but I want to kind of tell you why I went this particular route, and we'll go there. Now, you're going to see this draft, there's going to be some crazy players like Justin Jefferson. I am starting to see this more and more often in a lot of mock drafts I'm doing. Justin Jefferson is becoming the 101, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Mind you, on this swing, you might have some difficulty picking up some really good running backs. So if you are a running back eccentric type of player that has always been doing it the old school way, go for it. But if you want to change some things up, like our zero running back strategy, this is an option, going with Justin Jefferson. Now, in my case, at the 1-2, I would look at, again, a running back. I don't think Jamar Chase qualifies as a 1-2 at all right now. Christian McCaffrey is a good option. Austin Eckler. I love Nick Chubb this season. If you guys follow me on socials, you'll see that I'm absolutely a big fan of him. But I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey again. It's hard to pass up Christian McCaffrey at the 102 when he was phenomenal last season for the 49ers. Now, again, you're going to see receivers really popping in this mixture here, finishing up with some running backs. Now, with the news of Josh Jacobs and Barkley, this might change this in your real draft. There's a lot going on. There's some potential holdouts. We'll see how the rest of training camp goes. And of course, preseason. So this may change. But as of right now, this is where we're at. Now back here, I'm on the swing route here. I could go Jalen Waddle, have a really good wide receiver who I think is a top 10 receiver potential. Jalen Hurts, who is a fantastic quarterback, who absolutely with his rushing ability gives you some upside. Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, Breece Hall, all that fun stuff. So I actually am going to go, in this case, in a PPR edition, I'm going to go Tony Pollard. He has that ability to be a really good PPR back. And again, as long as he's healthy and really kind of swings it back like he should, I love this pick at getting Pollard, McCaffrey. Those are some strong PPR. Now, I'm actually going to go wide receiver. If you guys have been following this channel for a while, I typically will go quarterback later rounds. I understand grabbing Jalen Hurts right here, totally tempting, and it is. Even Stevenson is a nice tempt, but I think I can get another good running back. I know wide receivers are deep, but I want a nice stud wide receiver for my team. And in this case, I'm going to take the risk of grabbing Chris Olave. I think, here's my opinion on Chris Olave. It's not really a hot take. He is, to me, in a weird way, the Gabe Davis of last year. Showed flashes, potential. He's got a quarterback who's obviously can sling the ball. He's got a great deep ball. New offense, though, it kind of worries me. Michael Thomas, if he's healthy, might take away from Olave. So this could be a risk right here. But I'm going to take that risk. Again, this is a mock draft. You play around with these. But I like Chris Olave. I think he's going to get a lot of potential and passes his way. Again, I think he's the wide receiver one of the team. Thomas will take the middle of the field, and this opens up. Now, Justin Herbert's a really strong option here at the quarterback position. I still want to fill out my team and get a really strong overall team. I'm not going to go super heavy, even though Herbert has the potential to be QB1 this season with Kellen Moore at the offense. But in my case, I'm actually going to go and grab Terry McLaurin. He is still a wide receiver that gets no respect in this league for whatever reason. And I'm not even, obviously, as you can tell, Cowboys fan. I still think he's one of the better receivers out there. He just doesn't get the love. I actually love where I'm at right now. Olave, McLaurin, again, as a PPR, I think these are great options. Both of these running backs are studs in the PPR aspect, and I'm going to go fill out the rest of my team with Justin Herbert. I don't mind taking this at the 5th. You could possibly get a good quarterback in the 8th and 9th rounds. If you guys have seen that, you'll see that. I like Herbert. I think he can potentially be a QB1 in this offense with Kellen Moore if all three of his receivers are healthy. Eckler plays, because I know there's a lot of talks of that going on, this could be a really good offense. So I like that there. Now we're going to fill out the rest of your depth. We could go tight end, because obviously tight end is such a hard position to fill. If you're not grabbing, a Mark Andrews or a Travis Kelce, it's going to be pretty tough out there with the tight end position. And if you look at it, there's not even a tight end that you would be considering in this spot. So in here, it's filling out either wide receivers, filling out your buys, right? You got to consider the bye weeks. You got in here, I've got a pretty good mixture here. And then obviously filling out potential. So Mike Evans is a great option. Christian Kirk was a great option last year. Kamara, obviously, there's a good running back there. Rashad White is going to get a lot of touches because there's not a lot of running back potential. Pacheco is a good one, but Pacheco's got some injury concerns you got to be worried about. Deontay Johnson doesn't get enough love, but he's a great receiver. I'm going to go with the sturdy Mike Evans because he is, no matter who's at quarterback, even though it's going to be Baker, it's going to be a 1,000-yard type of receiver, and he's going to get you typically 8 touchdowns. He's a great wide receiver, should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. Now, I'm actually going to take Javonte Williams. If he's healthy, obviously it's a big if, I don't mind taking this risk here. You could go Rashad White here because Rashad White is another really good option for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm going to take Javonte Williams only because if he can come back, and he does truly come back healthy from the injury, it's a pretty severe injury. He showed so many good flashes last season as a potential RB1 on this rejuvenated Broncos offense. We'll see how it is with Sean Payton, but he can be that. So I actually love Evan Ingram here. I don't think he got enough love. Look at what he was able to do last season. He just did not get the respect. I loved him last year. I had him on a lot of my teams. I'm going Evan Ingram here to finish out the rest of my roster, and now we're going to finish out depth. Evan Ingram is a great pair at the tight end position because, and again, I'm not hating it at all with that. So here I'm going to fill out, again, the rest of this is all depth. Running backs are always typically hard. So if you can still get a good running back in this spot, go for it. In this spot, you're probably going to grab mostly wide receivers, maybe some handcuff running backs to your starters, right? And in this case, handcuff would be Elijah Mitchell. Perrine is another good handcuff. We're not sure who's going to be the handcuff to Pollard at this moment. It might be Malik Davis, Ronald Jones if he makes the cut. Derek, Vaughn is going to be an option. We'll see. But in my case, I actually like, and I'm going to take the risk of grabbing Brian Robinson only because he showed some flashes last season. Gibson potentially could be more in the passing game. Granted, that's been talked about every single year. He's always talked about being the receiving. So I'm going to take Brian Robinson. I still think he's going to be a nice little, 10 to 15 touches, maybe a little bit more. Again, nice little flex play to kind of fill in some bye weeks. Here, you've got Allen Lazard, who I think is a good option. Again, I'm going to handcuff most of my running backs if I can. Elijah Mitchell is a great handcuff, and he actually did really well. Nobody really talked about it enough. Elijah Mitchell, when he came back healthy, got a lot of touches, even with McCaffrey there. So I like this little pickup to handcuff to McCaffrey. And again, he has been in an offense that he's been able to touch the ball and get a lot there. I'm going to go wide receiver here. I'm not going to go backup tight end quite yet, even though Dalton Kincaid could be an option. Dolchik I like a lot, but I'm actually going to go wide receiver and kind of fill out. I'm going to go Adam Thielen because I think he's a great veteran to pair with the rookie at quarterback in Bryce Young, and I think Thielen doesn't get enough. He's a great red zone option. Yes, he's on the older side. Yes, he's had some concerns with his health, but I like Adam Thielen as a nice little option to fill out the rest of my team. So here you're going to see Bryce Young is an option for backup. Roshan Johnson, who I absolutely love. If you guys watch any of my Dynasty content, I love him. Bigsby's another great option at the Dynasty option. And again, I think even redraft, I think he's going to be a touchdown machine for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kyler Murray, we'll see how he comes out. If the Cardinals stink it up, they're not going to rush Kyler Murray back. So he's been pretty much falling into mostly free agency spots at this point. So I'm not going to go after him. I actually am going to go tank Bigsby because I think Bigsby is a great option that I think, again, if he shows what he's capable of, could be a running back that's going to steal, kind of be like the Jamal Williams of last season, just kind of taking away everything. So here, Zay Jones, third option. Nico Collins doesn't get enough love. I think he's a great option. Again, for a rookie, quarterback, it's going to be a little tempting to see how this plays out, but Nico's going to be, I think, their number one wide receiver. Tank Dell's getting a lot of love, especially from Stroud. So again, don't be afraid of drafting Tank Dell later in your draft. So I wouldn't draft him early, but he's a nice little sleep there. But I like Nico Collins a lot. Now, I actually am going to go fill out my backup quarterback. I'm going to go Matthew Stafford just to fill out bye weeks. And again, maybe potential matchups. He might be a better option than Justin Herbert. I don't mind this risk. You could also Derek Carr. He's another really good option. I think, again, I could have paired him with Chris Olave. Nice little stack there. I know a lot of people love to stack their quarterback and wide receiver. So again, that's potential option there. Again, can't go wrong with either one of these guys. So I've got 3 spots plus a kicker left. I'm not going kicker. You guys know me. Kicker's going to be typically at the end. So I'm going to fill out. I'm looking at maybe a tight end to fill up my backup. So I'm looking at tight ends here. You got Dawson Knox, potential backup. I actually going to go Gesicki. We'll see how he plays out in this offense with Bill Belichick because they do like the tight end position, in particular. Gesicki's shown flashes. He wasn't really utilized at all with the Miami Dolphins last season, so we'll see how that plays out. He's not somebody I'm worried about. I can always drop him, pick up another waiver because, again, tight ends are somebody you're probably going to pick up through waivers all season unless you drafted one of the best, in Travis Kelce or something like that. So I'll take that nice little pick there. Then, again, you're looking at a lot of rookies, kickers, guys who are, maybe see a game or two, depending on the matchup. I like Paris Campbell a lot. I think he's been a great addition to the New York Giants. I think he's going to be a nice little play there. Potentially probably going to be their slot guy, but I like him a lot there. So I'll take that. I think he's going to be a good one. Wando Robinson showed a lot too, but I like Paris Campbell. Very similar players. They actually really are. They're very similar in talent and capability. So you could go either way in those options. Now looking at this, I've got 6 running backs on my squad. I've got 5 wide receivers. Got my 2 quarterbacks. Could you go to a third tight end? Sure. It's not worth it at all. I'm going to actually fill out another wide receiver. And we look at the receivers here. Donovan Peoples-Jones, really good wide receiver. Curtis Samuel showed some flashes with, being the third guy. I actually am going to go Tim Patrick. Again, depth piece. I think he's going to have some potential. We'll see how he plays out, but I think he'll end up being the third wide receiver for the Broncos. And again, he was a really good receiver. When he wasn't hurt, he had some flashes, and the Denver Broncos absolutely love him. Now, of course, the last player I'm going to pick is going to be the kicker. For me, don't waste your draft picks if possible. Get the guy. Get Cameron Dicker. That's who I picked in the last mock draft. He's going to be a great option for this Los Angeles team. They're going to get points. They're going to get down the field, so I like that. That is my mock draft at the 102. If you guys have any questions or if you guys have any comments, maybe you probably would have drafted a different player, or if you have a strategy of your own, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know. I love to see what you guys are doing out there in the fantasy world. This is just my input and what I think is a good strategy if you were at the 102 that could potentially put you in a winning position. The first early draft picks are always tough, and it always kind of sets the tone on your draft the rest of the night. So again, make this fun. Have fun with your teammate, your league mates. Have fun doing the draft. Enjoy yourselves. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the notifications. That way you get notified when we're dropping videos just like this. And of course, with this season coming up, we'll be dropping waivers, start sits, all that fun stuff to get you into a winning season and have a good, fun thing. So again, subscribe, like, and I'll check you guys out next time.